welcome. You're watching News and Views on this Wednesday the 28th of April. Today we have two guests for you, which is Ken Campbell, our local astronomer, and we also have Dr. Venom, who's going to be talking to us about mammals and where to find them here in the Costa del Sol. And of course we always have the Euronews for you, so you can catch up with what's happening in the rest of the world. So let's welcome Ken Campbell to the programme.
Hi Karen, nice to be back again.
And nice to see you too.
This weather's warming up a little bit now, isn't it?
It is, and actually we've got a few people from around the world watching the programme today.
We've got people all over the world today, Australia, Turkey and the El Coto bar in Fuengirola.
Yeah, it's a friend of yours in Turkey, isn't
Turkey.
it? And your brother-in-law in...
No, my brother.
Your brother,
no, my brother
in Australia.
In Perth in Australia.
Yeah.
And some people back in England as well. Norman, my friend back in England, and Dennis is in Hartlepool, he's watching as well. So
truly international.
We're going international today, Karen.
And a hello to El Coto.
Oh yes, definitely hello to El Coto.
And today you're talking about Venus in the sky and the anniversary of the Hubble as well. It's 10th anniversary.
Well, we've got plenty of anniversaries. Remember we were on last couple of weeks ago talking about the anniversary of Apollo 13.
Yes.
April seems to be the season for anniversaries. Well, first off though, have you noticed that big bright star in the west? Just after the sun's gone down, you'll see a very, very bright star out in the west.
I thought it might be the International Space Station.
Not yet. That's coming. That's coming a little bit later. No, it's just sitting there up above the horizon, and it's actually the planet Venus that we're looking at there. So Venus is shining so brightly you really can't miss it. It's either known as the evening star or the morning star. Because of where Venus is in its relation to the Earth, it's closer into the sun than we are. So it means we can only see Venus when it's either to the left of the sun or when it's to the right of the sun. If it's in front of or behind the sun, then obviously we can't see it. And at the moment, Venus is moving away to the left of the sun. As it's coming around its orbit, it's moving further and further away, which means it's getting higher and higher in the sky. So over the next few weeks, you'll see it getting higher and higher and higher as it moves further away from the sun. So after the sun's set, it'll be higher and higher in the sky, and it'll also get brighter. And then sort of towards July, in July period, it'll actually sort of turn the corner, if you like, and then it'll start coming round, it'll start the other way, it'll get closer and closer towards the sun, and then it'll disappear then, and it will reappear in the morning as a morning star.
Okay, which of course won't be seen, will it?
Well, it will be seen, but you have to go up early in the morning to see it, because it will rise it'll rise before the sunrise, evening star or morning star. So watch out for Venus. You'll definitely notice it as you see the sunset, and then you'll see it. You really can't miss it how bright it is.
Okay, then so sunset. Okay, and of course the International Space Station.
We've got the Hubble Space Telescope first. We've got the Hubble Space Telescope. Is a giant telescope. It's about the size of a bus, and it's been in space now for 20 years. It was actually launched in 1990. And the pictures that the Hubble Space Telescope is sending back are absolutely incredible. It's changed our whole view of what we think, or certainly what I knew when I was a little boy, when I was learning about astronomy and learning about all the planets and the galaxies. The Hubble Space Telescope has basically rewritten the whole of the book. The images that it's sending back, have we got some nice pictures from the Hubble Space Telescope? That is the Hubble Space Telescope. That's what it's looking like. The next picture shows with astronauts. There's astronauts actually working on the it shows you the sort of relation of size. There's the astronauts working on it. So it's about the size of a bus. But when it was first launched, it was actually out of focus. It was the biggest embarrassment that NASA have ever suffered. They sent it up in the space shuttle. They unloaded it from the space shuttle, put it in space, switched it on. It was out of focus. They ground the mirror to the wrong size.
Oh, right.
So the astronauts actually had to go back a few years later and literally fit a pair of spectacles to it. They put extra lenses in, and then the images that came back were out of this world, is the key for it. This is one of the images. This is actually a galaxy. Apart from the big bright stars that you can see there, those bright stars happen to be inside our galaxy. So they are close to us. But if you were to move those stars out of the way, then every single point of light that you can see, and there's so many there that it doesn't look like points of light, it just looks like mist. But every single point of light there is a star, is a sun, exactly the same as ours. So this is the Sombrero Galaxy. The next picture, oh yeah. The next picture is part of, this is where stars are being made. This is where stars actually be produced from. This is clouded gas. This is actually what's known as the Eagle Nebula in the constellation of Orion. And this is the creation of stars. This is where stars come from. The next picture is, now this one, everybody's baffled about this. It's known as the Eye of God. And it's the remnants of stars. It's stars that have exploded, and it's actually in the process of rejoining back together again to create new stars. So everything in space is all recyclable. You know, stars die, and then what's left from the death of the stars goes on to produce new stars. So it's all recyclable. Okay. And I think the next picture is of Saturn. There's our Saturn. That is absolutely fantastic at the moment. We can see Saturn, which we're going to be seeing on Thursday at the Astronomy Society. But that's one of the pictures of Saturn from the Hubble Space Telescope. So it's happy birthday to the Hubble Space Telescope, 20 years old this weekend. And the other thing we've got an anniversary for is the International Space Station. Now, you know I come on regular and tell you about the International. But what the International Space Station is, it's a station that's being built in space. It's so big that they have to build it section by section. And I think the first picture of the International Space Station shows the very first section of it. That was the very first section that they took up. So they take that up, they unload it from the space shuttle and literally leave it flying around in space. It's got no engines, of its own, so it's just left in space. So then on the second picture they go up and they take the next part. So this was the second part that went up. This was the habitation module where the people are going to actually live when they go in there. So the astronauts get outside the space shuttle and they work on it. So the astronauts are now more builders than astronauts. There he is working on it. He's got his hand tools and his hammer and his chisel and his screwdrivers and everything. And they literally are builders, the construction workers. Now that is the latest picture of it. That's what it actually looks like right at this moment. That was taken just a few weeks ago on the last shuttle mission that went up there, and you can see the size of it now. It's bigger than a football field. It's so big that it can easily be seen from Earth. You can see it passing over quite easily. And this week we've got not one, not two, but 3 shots at it. Because of the way its orbit goes around, we don't see it for weeks on end. So you might not see it at all for maybe 6 or 8 weeks. And then all of a sudden you'll get a block of them all coming together. And that block is this weekend, is tonight. So we've got a view of it tonight. It's going to go over, this is tonight, and this is 10:15. So if you go outside tonight at just about 10:15, look towards the sort of the southwest direction. It'll fly up over the Canary Isles. It'll go just to the south of southern Spain and directly right out over the Mallorca and the Balearics. Okay. So that's your first shot at it tonight. If you miss that one, try again tomorrow. Now this one's a little bit further north now for us, but we've got this on Thursday the 29th. Now this one's coming a little bit later. This is actually about 20 to 11 this one's going to come over. Again, starting off from the southwest, only this time, instead of it going to the south of you, it'll actually pass more over the north of our area, fly out over the Pyrenees and out into France and out into Europe that way. Then the best sighting of it is on Friday night. We've got one on Friday, and this is going to come at 9:30. This one will be coming through. Now this will actually be the best of the 3. It'll be closer to us, about 250 miles away from you at its closest distance. And what it'll look like, if you start looking down at the horizon at just about 9:30, what you'll see is a star, a very bright star, and it'll start moving across the sky. Now it moves fairly quick. You've got to be fairly rapid to see this because it takes about 6 minutes to cross the whole of the sky. As it gets higher and higher in the sky, it'll get brighter and brighter and brighter till you'll know. You'll definitely know it's that. You'll know it's not an aeroplane because of the speed that it's travelling at. If it was an aeroplane, it would be so low that you'd be able to see the flashing lights flashing on and off on it, the red and the green lights from the aeroplane. This has got no flashing lights. The only reason that we can see it is because the sun's shining on it. So this is what I'm saying about we don't see it for weeks and then suddenly we'll see it lots of times. You have to see it in sort of the golden hour, like an hour after sunset or an hour before sunrise, where the sky's dark enough, but the sun is still shining up 250 miles up and it's lighting up the space station. And you saw it on the picture, it's silver in colour and it's got all these solar panels on it. So it's shining fairly brightly. It'll actually be the brightest thing in the sky after the moon.
Okay then.
So you'll definitely know it.
You'll easily see it.
You'll easily see it. Make sure you wave at the astronauts as they go over, because he's actually promised he's going to lean out the window and wave back this time, as he does.
To get the binoculars out.
No, you don't need binoculars. Don't use binoculars. It's moving too fast.
Okay.
Just stand and watch it. And if you've got the little kids with you, if you can get the kids outside, it's these times that I give you are spot on. They're exact. Yeah. So it's almost a case of 3, 2, 1. There it is, and you'll see it moving up. Okay. I've seen it hundreds of times, but it's still a fantastic thing to see.
So that sounds good. 2 good things there. And you've also got an astronomy meeting on the 29th as well, haven't you?
That's right. We've got our Astronomy Society meeting tomorrow. That's Thursday the 29th at the El Coto Bar and Restaurant, which is just up the Avenida de Mijas. If you know where the Corte Inglés is and you know where the Euro Market is, the road that goes straight up from them, there's 3 roundabouts and the Corte Inglés is just on the corner of the 3rd roundabout. You really can't miss it. So we're going to be in there from 8 o'clock. I'm going to be giving a talk all about the constellations and explaining how to find your way around the Plough and Orion and all the different constellations. I've got my PowerPoint, so we're going to be explaining, I'll show you the pictures of them. And then luckily this weather seems to have booked up a little bit for us. So keeping our fingers crossed. We'll then go outside. There's always telescopes there. People always bring telescopes along. We're going to be looking at the planet Saturn. We're going to be looking at Mars. We're going to be looking at the moon. And as we say, we've got a visit from the International Space Station.
Exactly.
So at 22:11, we'll all be outside there. The sky's going to be beautiful and clear. And it's nice and warm now as well in the evenings. So we're going to be out there using the telescopes. I'll be able to point to the constellations and say, well, I told you about the Plough inside. Well, there's the Plough up there. And explaining how to find different constellations by using the Plough and other constellations.
Okay, sounds interesting.
We've got plenty on tomorrow. We've got plenty to talk about tomorrow.
Okay then. And we'll catch up with you in a few weeks and you'll be telling us what else is happening in the skies.
Absolutely.
Thanks very much, Ken.
Thanks, Karen.
And we have the Euro News for you now, followed by a short publicity break, and then we'll be talking with Dr. Venom about mammals and where to find them on the Costa del Sol. So stay tuned in.